Welcome, Rotarians and guests, to the Rotary Club of York, where our mission is to improve life in the city of York by connecting our club's diverse community leaders through fellowship, action, and service. I am your president, Courtney Piccolo, and as you know, we start off all of our meetings by reciting the four-way test. If you would please join me. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Today, our opening song, God Bless America, and the pledge will be led by past President Aaron Jacobs, followed by the invocation with past President Jackie Summers, and visitor introductions by Walt Tilley.
Thank you, President Courtney. Rotarians, please join me. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. Would you kindly join me in a word of prayer? Gracious God, in this time of Thanksgiving, may our actions reflect the values of Rotary, and may we be renewed in our purpose and strengthened in our resolve to serve others above ourselves. We're thankful for the fellowship we share, for the friendships formed and the bonds strengthened through our common purpose. Thank you for our speaker, Victoria Diamond, president of WellSpan York Hospital, and for her leadership in overseeing the significant expansion of the York Hospital Surgical and Critical Care Tower. This monumental project promises to create hundreds of new jobs and provide a state-of-the-art facility. We ask for your blessings on Vicky and her team as they continue to enhance the healthcare services available to us. And we extend our profound gratitude to all healthcare professionals whose unwavering dedication is vital to our health and safety. Thank you too for the nourishment of this food and for those who have prepared and served it. In this spirit of gratitude and service, we offer our thanks and ask for your continued blessing upon us all. Amen.
I am honored to be introducing our guests today, and you're going to see why right out of the box. We have a visiting Rotarian from Lubowa, Uganda. Noel Thomas. Noel, can you come forward, please? President Courtney has asked that I act on her behalf. Please come up to exchange the club banners. Noel, you have brought a banner from your club in Uganda, and we thank you for that. And I'm presenting you with our banner from the York Club to take with you home. So thank you very much. For the rest of our guests, when I call your name, please stand and then remain standing. President Courtney will return to the podium here to greet you. But our international connections don't stop with Noel. Scarlett Barshinger. Scarlett is a guest of Youth Exchange, and she just found out this past weekend that she has been admitted into our outbound program. So in August, she'll be leaving for another country. She doesn't know where yet, but we congratulate you. Mamura Ikabe. He is from Japan, and he is our inbound student attending York Suburban, but he's from Japan. Mamura, you will be one of the people training Scarlett to get her ready for her year in Youth Exchange. We also have, continuing our international theme, Shabnam Hafiz. Shabnam means dew, actually nice water. Is that right? That's what your husband said? And a WellSpan trauma doctor. Sean Lovelady is a guest of the program committee. There he is, okay. Becky Rook, also a guest of the program committee. The following guests are guests of Victoria Diamond. Anthony Aquilina, Alyssa Moyer, Marcia Messer, Jason Vandiver, Harvey Green. Guest of past District Governor Ben Hoover is Judson Van Fleet and Jessica Lind. Guest of Brian Caden is Sarah Lesser. And a guest of Jeff Vermeulen is Thomas Byrne. President Courtney.
Visitors and guests from all across the world, thank you for being here today. We're all very excited to have you on behalf of the Rotary Club of York. Rotarians, if you could please help me welcome our guests. And now for some announcements. The Youth Exchange Committee will meet tomorrow at noon on Zoom. The Youth Literacy Committee will meet on Friday, November 22nd at 9 a.m. on Teams. And the Student Education Committee will meet on Tuesday, November 3rd at 8 a.m. on Zoom. So you've asked for it, and we are excited to deliver some official Rotary Club of York gear. Woohoo, exciting times. So we're offering t-shirts, we're offering polos, we're offering quarter zips. and you can show off your club pride and style. So check out some photos here we have of the gear. And if you want an even closer look, in the very back of the room by the dessert table, I put it back there specifically because I thought that everybody would head that way at some point today. You can take a look at some of the samples that we have in case you want to touch them. These will be available for the next couple meetings. And this is not a fundraiser. This is just a great way for you to snag some club apparel at a super reasonable price. So for example, t-shirts are $13. The polos are $20. All orders do have to be placed online. We have partnered with a third-party vendor, so we cannot accept checks or add this to your invoice. So to get the link and order online, you can scan the QR code. These little pieces of paper are at the tables. You can just scan the QR code. It'll take you directly to the link to order online. I did it yesterday. It took less than 2 minutes to check out. Also, in the weekly announcer that Lynn sends out, there will be a link that you can just click on from a computer or your phone, and you can order that way. So we're accepting orders over the next month, and then all of the orders will be put together in one big giant order. That's how we were able to get such great pricing. And then you'll pick up your order on January 8th or on January 15th at the meeting here. If you can't make it to those meetings, or if you prefer for a home delivery, you can opt for the option, excuse me, to have it shipped to your house for an additional fee. So looking forward to seeing you guys to get some Rotary gear. So we are all out there with brand awareness for the Rotary Club of York. All right, now to talk about perfect attendance. Today, some of you enjoyed a juicy steak for lunch, while others had a classic hamburger. Why the difference, you ask? Well, we are thrilled to be celebrating our members who achieved perfect attendance during their 2023-2024 Rotary year. So we have a slide here. Yep, we're gonna go through all the different names, and what better way to honor their dedication with a special steak lunch today. On the slide, you'll see the members that we are recognizing today, and achieving perfect attendance is no small feat, and it comes from actively participating in our club activities throughout the year. Here's how it works. You earn attendance credits by joining our weekly meetings, whether in person, on Zoom, or by catching us on YouTube. Credits are also awarded for participating in committee or board meetings, fellowship events, or volunteering at Rotary gatherings. Essentially, anytime you're engaged with our club or visit another Rotary Club's weekly meeting when you are traveling, it counts towards your perfect attendance. So I think we have one more slide we're gonna go through. Here we are. I would like to call special recognition to the members on the screen here that have maintained perfect attendance for 20 to 26 years. Past District Governor Ben Hoover, Frank Reed, and past President Gordon Byrick, who are both joining us on Zoom. So hello to you both today. Past President Rob Bowen, past President Lou Elliker, past President Mike Summers, and Ken Cooper. So huge shout out, 20 to 26 years, an incredible milestone. Great job to everybody, but especially these members. And let's not forget the next slide here. 30 years, 2 members, past President Dick Julian and Jan Wolgemuth. 30 years, perfect attendance. Great job, guys. So membership engagement is at the heart of our club's strategic plan, and I encourage you to stay involved in whichever format works for you. If you can't attend in person, hop on a Zoom, join a committee meeting, or volunteer at a Rotary event. After all, who doesn't want steak for lunch? Let's keep our club vibrant and engaged. All right, and now I would like to invite Membership Engagement Chair Chris Toth to the podium to share with you some highlights from the recent membership survey.
Thank you, President Courtney. So back about 2 months ago, we sent out a membership engagement survey for all of you to fill out. I do want to thank everybody that did participate. We had a huge amount of participation in it. Just over 130 members participated in the survey. So we had a really good amount of people take part in it. So you can go to the next slide. There we go. So a couple of things about Rotary. Worldwide, Rotary as a whole over the past 12 months has lost about 19,000 members overall. Our club was up 15 as of the end of the last Rotary year. When we look at our percentage of women that are in our club compared to the worldwide average, we are 5 points ahead of that too. So we are currently at 31% female. To give you guys an idea, we did a survey a few years ago. We were at 21% female. So in the last 4 years, we've really been able to get that number up to a much more respectable level. Thank you. So here are the things that we've got. This is some of the data that we got back out of that survey. 38% of the respondents were female, which is way better. Women, the last time around, they had to be like fairly reprimanding up here on the DEI survey. It was like 18%, but good job this time around. We like that. 31% of the participants were brand new, fairly new members to our club, 0 to 3 years overall. So we had very good representation in the amount of years people were Rotarians, from brand new to people that have been in, well, maybe for 30 perfect years even. The nice thing about it is that we had 83% overall satisfaction rate for people with their membership in the club. And when you look at things, 82% want to be more involved on a regular basis with activities in the club. The big one, 92% of everybody in our club wanted to take part in a service project. So what did we learn from all of these little things? There we go. We need better communication overall. I understand that coming to a weekly meeting and hearing it announced, seeing it in the announcer, hearing it again in a meeting, getting an email about it again, talking to a friend about it is like just the tip of the iceberg. How many times we have to let everybody know anything? It's kind of like when I talk to my teenager about cleaning his room, right? I've got to tell him like 42 times, or like an animal's running around in his room before he figures out he's got to clean it. So we're going to be a little bit better about communicating these things to all of you. As you saw this past week, I sent out an email to everybody asking if anybody wanted to be a mentor. I am glad that I got a lot of responses to that. And by the way, part of this whole thing with communication and developing new members is our mentor program. Teresa Gregory's done a great job keeping that under control and being there to match people up. And we are now up to, for something that started off where we had, I think, 12 mentors to begin with, we now have 40 mentors right now within our club. So we really brought that number up. One of the other things, outside of communication, more opportunities. It's remarkable to me when we ask the question, what is the best time for you to participate in networking and fellowship activities? Almost all of you said during work hours during the week, which is remarkable to me. Most of you must own your own businesses, because there aren't too many people that are like, screw it, I'm going to be gone for a couple of hours for a networking event at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But we heard that loud and clear. We also did see a lot of people that wanted to do things that were very different. A lot of diversification in what we do as far as what our activities are. We saw in the original survey we did in the room that day, most of you have maybe a slight alcohol problem. There was a lot of people that wanted to do wine and brandy and beer tastings. There were also a lot of people that wanted to do family-related things. We're going to start making a regular push to do family-related things as well, so that we can get a lot more involvement from people. The biggest thing that inhibited people from joining more was time. And for me, that means my job and my children, which I understand. So if we can involve children in things, maybe that gets some of your time to go towards a Rotary networking event. The other things that we're looking at too is trying to set up some ideas for regular service that we can have, volunteer opportunities for people within the club, making that something on a regular basis. And also having sort of a regular on the calendar fellowship time every month. To give you an idea right now, I'm working on something right now, and by a show, I don't want to show of hands because it might be really completely depressing to me to see the lack of enthusiasm for an idea that I think is cool. But I'm setting up right now where we would maybe do the second Tuesday of every month from 3:30 to 5:30 at Suburban Bowlerama for whoever wants to come and just bowl for 2 hours. Looks like me and Ann are going to be bowling together. That's fantastic. With Sarah and Lynn. This is great. So we got one lane. Okay, this is great. That's good. More details on that as it comes out. We're also going to make the registration process for events a little bit smoother and easier overall. One thing that we are working on, and I'm probably going to say something wrong, and Lynn will send me an email later to tell me that I miscommunicated up here. But we're trying to set things up where it's going to be easier for you to pay for events up in advance. So that we are not collecting checks and cash and invoicing you on a regular basis, that things can be paid for in advance so we can get things done. So those are all the things you're going to have to look forward to in the next year. And we're really looking at launching a lot of this stuff right at the beginning of the year. The other part was networking among members. That was part of what we were trying to do with a monthly meeting time. Next one. Okay, so our action steps as a committee right now are to develop a little bit better of a communication plan. We had a meeting yesterday with the Marketing and Communications Committee. One of the things that we are going to be putting out, and Sarah, you can help me with a timeline on this for our new, we're going to do a Facebook group that is just for members of the Rotary. And in January, that will be up and running, so we can share a lot of things there as well. I'm sure I'm going to be back here to accost you to make sure that you follow that and that you're getting the regular information there. We are always, so right now we've got a team that's dedicated to putting together a calendar of network events. We are looking at having at least 3 events a month that we can have together for Rotarians to take part in. So that's going to be coming out in January as well. Bill Hunter right now is working on putting together a Rotary Means Business event, which would be right now, I believe we're looking at a calendar date of July of next year. To give you an idea on what a Rotary Means Business event is, it's bringing people in from our entire district together for a networking opportunity with a speaker. Our district years ago used to have a calendar filled on a regular basis, but since the epidemic, I think they've had maybe 2 a year or 1 a year within the district. So we're going to try to get that fired up again. And I think our club is primed to lead the charge on that. Those of you on the question about Club Runner, I would say it was close to 20% of you said, what is Club Runner? Fantastic. Now I know what the baseline is. So we're going to set up some trainings on that, so you guys have a better understanding of where you can get information and what things you can get out of utilizing the Club Runner app and utilizing our website for things. So those are going to be coming up soon as well. I talked about service projects. We're going to have constant contact with the Speedy Committee on service projects that are out there so that we can get those out to everybody and communicate them. And then finally, we are really going to be working hand in hand with the Communications Committee and Marketing Committee to make sure that you all know what we've got going on. So I am looking forward to seeing all of you at events next year. And just to give you the sheer numbers of things, what I was really encouraged by, there was a question asking, how many events do you attend outside of our regular meetings in a given year? And then the next question was, how many would you attend in a given year? And just about everybody moved up one bucket from where they were before. So those of you that were 0 to 3 are now in the 4 to 6 bucket. Those in the 4 to 6 are now 7 to 10. Those of you that were in the 10 plus, you had nowhere to go but way up from there. So I'm sure we'll see you at more things. But adding all of that up with the number of members that we have, that probably gives us about 1,800 spots for networking next year in a club of about 300 people. So on average, everybody would go to around 6 events a year. So I look forward to seeing all of you at those. And if you've got any questions about any information that we got back, feel free to ask me about it. Thank you very much.
Chris, thank you for sharing the survey results. Hearing everyone's feedback is a great reminder of our commitment to making this club even better. The results give us a clear path to create more engaging projects, meetings, and connections. All right, and now I would like to invite Ray Rosen to the podium to introduce our speaker for today.
I can hardly wait to hear what I'm going to say. So does our speaker. It's my honor and pleasure to introduce Victoria, better known as Vicky Diamond, a most accomplished healthcare leader. As the Senior Vice President for the Central Region of WellSpan Health, Vicky has achieved great success during her 9-year tenure. Her diverse roles, including President of WellSpan York Hospital, the WellSpan Surgery and Rehabilitation Hospital, and Vice President of Ancillary Services, showcase her versatile expertise within WellSpan Health. Prior to joining WellSpan, Vicky spent 12 years at UMass Memorial, where she held positions such as Vice President of Quality, Patient Safety, Experience, and Accreditation, as well as Senior Vice President overseeing the Children's Hospital and clinical service lines encompassing surgical, critical care, neurosciences, and emergency medicine. Her educational background includes a master's in public administration from NYU's Wagner School of Public Service and a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from Queens College. Vicky has also honed her leadership acumen as the Executive Leadership Series at Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. Vicky is a Lean certified Green Belt and a certified patient safety officer, both showcasing her commitment to excellence in healthcare. Beyond her professional activities, her dedication to community service shines brightly through her involvement with organizations such as United Way, American Red Cross, American Heart Association, Girls Incorporated, Big Brother, Big Sister, Better York, and the York Jewish Community Center. Vicky's passion for healthcare and community is an inspiring testament to her extraordinary career. Fellow Rotarians, I present to you Vicky Diamond.
Thank you, Ray. And I didn't know what you were going to say. You had me worried there for a moment. Good afternoon, everyone. I am so thrilled to be here today just to give you a bit of an update on one of the most significant healthcare investments that we will be making in this community. And that is our new surgical and critical care tower at WellSpan York Hospital. This is a rendering of what the new building will look like on that campus. And this $427 million investment, we expect to have online by 2027. One of the reasons for this is because we're continuing to expand and to grow as we see the community continues to expand and grow, and the need for increased specialty care services. You may see some of the statistics on the side here for this slide. I'm going to highlight a few of them as I go through this presentation. So why are we doing this? Well, if any of you have actually been to WellSpan York Hospital in the last year or so, it's actually a pretty busy place. Today, we heard that the occupancy or census was 112%. And that's where we run pretty frequently. So as our community continues to grow, and we continue to serve over 500,000 residents in this county, we're also seeing that we're outpacing not only in this community in terms of growth, but also in the neighboring communities. And so we're trying to keep up with that. And then for those of you who don't know, and I'm certainly starting to feel it myself, but as we age, the need for healthcare increases quite significantly. So we are having a growing population and an aging population. So again, why is this necessary? So what we've tried to put here is to really showcase some of the diverse services that we are providing at the hospital. And this is just 1 year's statistics. And so, and this is actually last year's statistics because we're still in this year. And so as you look at this, 94,000 emergency room visits, or more than almost 1,100 strokes seen in our comprehensive stroke center. And what's really astounding is over almost 10,000 cardiac procedures last year. So again, just there's a growing need for specialized care, growing need for services, and again, why we feel this expansion is necessary. So what will be in the surgical and critical care tower? Well, it's actually going to be 8 stories. And for those of you who very much know the campus, it's actually a hill. So it won't look like it's 8 stories, but it is 8 stories. We're also going to build 21 advanced larger surgical suites. And here's where I can't help myself, but the smallest surgical suite in this new building will be larger than the largest OR we have today. And so really advancing the size of our surgical platform so that we can fit the robotics, the advanced technology, and the fact that we have so many surgical residents and fellows also working there just necessitates more room for these surgical suites. The other thing that we're building is 4 floors of ICUs or critical care units. And these will be specialized units that will be dedicated to neuroservices or cardiac services, trauma services. So we can really bring the specialized care around those particular units. And a really nice thing about that is, again, if you've spent any time on the campus, some of our rooms are a little small. And the fact that loved ones cannot stay overnight with their family members who might be in an ICU, this will address that as part of this build. And then, again, just looking for the ability to offer private rooms and continue to meet the needs of our community. So we're looking and doing this kind of work to ensure that it enhances our ability to continue to be a regional destination service for these specialty care. So this is a rendering, and I absolutely love this for a couple of reasons. One, it gives you a sense of the hill. I hope it gives you a sense of the hill. And what you can see kind of towards your left is on this rendering is actually a rooftop garden. Those are actually umbrellas, so people can go outside on a landlocked campus and actually have a little bit of a respite. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But you also see all the glass in the windows and just how we'll incorporate this into our campus. For those of you who are familiar with the campus, to the left of this building is where the emergency department is. So one highlight of this that we are really proud of is our commitment to environmental sustainability. So as you think about healthcare, healthcare is one of the largest generators of energy and waste and just has a big footprint in terms of what it produces within our communities. And so we are going to be the second LEED Gold building or healthcare building in the Commonwealth. The first is UPenn in Philadelphia. And this commitment is to make sure that we are really good neighbors and good partners with our community and not creating more or generating more energy or water consumption than is absolutely necessary. Along with this, we have been very intentional in terms of how we are repurposing just materials, how we're thinking about that. When we took down the existing buildings that were here, we actually repurposed many of the bricks. Many of you have heard about what we've been doing with plastic recyclables and putting that into the concrete. So trying in every way, shape to really, minimize our footprint on the environment. One of the other nice enhancements here is that this allows us to also create better ventilation systems. Again, ensuring a very good green building. So the green roof plan. So, I've been lucky in my career. I've built a lot of ORs and emergency departments and ICUs and all those kinds of things. This is the first time I've ever been part of building a green roof. And that is a really amazing thing to do when you think about people who spend time in an ICU, which could be for weeks, their family members, and our team members. And the ability to go outside and have fresh air or just sit by a tree is really an incredible respite. So this is a really exciting thing, and it will allow us to meet our sustainability goals by managing kind of storm water runoff. Did I get that right, Keith? Okay. So it's good for a lot of different reasons. And this will allow us to have over 200 people who could actually physically fit on this rooftop. For those of you who don't know, we do host weddings, graduations, and other things for people who cannot get out of the ICU. This will give us a space where we can do that a lot more in a much nicer way. So I've mentioned a couple of things about this project. But one of the things this expansion project is really going to help us do is make sure that this investment that we're making in healthcare, that this investment stays local. that the dollars are going back into our community. And so this project will create 500 new jobs, healthcare jobs in our community. It will also, as I said, I've highlighted the fact that we will be LEED Gold. So we're creating a smaller footprint in terms of our ecological footprint here. And then also, I hope some of you have seen that out of this, we have committed already 80% of these contract awards have gone to local contractors. Names of contractors and construction companies that all of you know are part of this building. The other thing that this has allowed us to do is start to think differently about our community partnerships. And one of the partnerships that is really exciting for us is York College, a partnership that we've undertaken there. So we have partnered with York College Kinsley School of Engineering, Sciences, and Technology. They have an amazing resource in their Pell Horticultural Center. And we've actually met with the faculty, with the students, and with our landscape architects to actually help us design that rooftop garden. And we're really excited about that collaboration, which will come to fruition. Oh, that's kind of good. Come to fruition over the next couple of years as we work together. So I think this is the part everybody wanted me to get to, is the crane. Okay. So, you know, the scale and complexity of a construction project like this is just immense. And if any of you are in the area, I had someone recently tell me they took their grandchildren over here to just kind of see some of the equipment and how amazing it is. But here's some stats that people appear to be very interested in. We've gotten a lot of questions about. We have moved 130,000 tons of dirt. That took 9,700 truckloads to actually remove off of the campus. We have a retaining wall, because again, we're on this hill, that is the length of 2 football fields. And the crane. The crane is 23 stories high, and it moves. Part of the reason it moves is because in the event there's wind, you don't want it to break, you want it to be able to sway. So that crane is on site. It's being managed by Kinsley Construction and will be there for 2 years. So one of the things, in addition to its being 23 stories tall, is that it actually lifts 23,000 pounds. And so again, just to give you a sense of this building and the construction going on. So I've talked a lot about the new expansion and the new tower, but I also want to highlight another need in our community, and that is behavioral health. Behavioral health needs have continued to grow at double-digit increases. And along with that, we've made a commitment to make sure we were actually building and expanding our inpatient behavioral health services to actually match the way the treatment models are set up for today. And so we have been really fortunate to also partner with John and Maria Polly, who have made an incredibly generous gift to us of $2.4 million. And the first of our new pods will be opening on December 12th. And we are going to be having a ribbon cutting acknowledging their generosity and this new site as well. So, you know, as we think about our growing region, we think about our growing needs, you know, I would ask all of you and invite all of you to come along with us on this journey. We have a vision to support the increased needs and the increased specialty care that people need right here in our community. And that's going to take quite a bit of, I've shared some of the dollars with you in terms of what that's going to take, but it's also going to take new partnerships, new ways of collaborating, as well as new donors within this space. And so we are inviting people to join us in a capital campaign that we will be undertaking. Every donation, small or large, will make a difference in our future. One of the things we do know is that if you really want to think about the future, I love this quote by Peter Drucker, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So we're asking you to join us as we create the future in meeting a healthier, stronger community. Thank you. Questions? Yes.
I know that one of the challenges in healthcare is recruiting for positions. Do you think that this expansion will make the WellSpan York Hospital a more desirable, attractive location for employment to recruit top talent?
That's a great question. We think about recruitment and retention quite a bit at WellSpan. And so we've done a number of things, whether it's been to partner with Temple for a medical school campus here, or with the Jersey College for a school of nursing. We have many, many programs and are continuing to have discussions with York College about that pipeline creation. But also with that, we also want to retain the people that we have. And part of building services that are advanced and specialized allows people that are here with us to grow with us. And we'll take them along with us on that journey for, you know, increased training and other opportunities as well. So, thank you.
Thank you. That was a good explanation. And I have to come down and see the crane, I'm sure. But my question is, WellSpan now has acquired a number of different campuses, I would gather, in the map area that you showed earlier.
Yes.
So I'm looking at this expansion and thinking that you will be funneling this type of surgery from this entire WellSpan area into this as a regional surgical center for these kinds of diseases. Is that a correct assumption, or you want to say something about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So many of the services we provide today, like being a trauma center, a level 1 trauma center, that is a regional resource. In order to be that designation, you have to serve a larger footprint than we currently serve today. And it allows you to put all of those resources and have them available. So for like, just as an example, to be a level 1 trauma center, you have to have availability in your operating rooms 24/7, meaning, you know, anytime anyone needs us, that's available. That's not routine at hospitals. So again, that designation it reflects that we've made those investments. The same thing with Comprehensive Stroke Center. Being a comprehensive stroke center, again, 24/7, we're available with a neurosurgeon to help you through that type of situation. So yes, we are those things today, and we expect to continue to be those things as we serve patients across South Central Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Hi, I was curious about energy usage. So how much, with this expansion, how much more energy will the hospital campus use, and how much is being saved with the LEED Gold designation?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm already looking at Keith. I know when we did the assessment, because it actually costs more money to be LEED Gold. It's several million more of some of the systems you need to put in place. But some of that, I guess, payback is in having less water use, less energy use, and the like. And as I recall correctly, it was something between 20 to 60 households less. Does that sound about right, Keith?
Yeah, I think the infrastructure of the hospital in the older section of the campus is over 100 years old in some cases. And so if you can imagine the new technology there is for energy conservation, it's much greater. So the lead goal will actually decrease our consumption of energy on the campus. It's actually a much improved, efficient environment than what we're operating.
Great, thank you. Tony.
Vicky, first again, thank you for just a wonderful showcasing of what is an incredible expansion for WellSpan. We're very fortunate in this community to have you all here. My question to you is, you mentioned that you would be inviting the community to participate in the funding of this magnificent expansion. Can you shed any light on what that might look like in terms of a capital campaign?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. We talk about that a lot. But one of the things we want to be really intentional about is making sure it connects with what people want to support. And everyone has different things that are important to them. It may be surgical capacities, it may be bigger rooms in the ICUs, it may be other things within the properties. One of the areas we have found tremendous support from the Powder Mill Foundation has been in our rooftop garden. And so, you know, again, trying to make sure where we have conversations, which we'll be starting shortly, that it really connects and resonates with where people may want to make their commitment. But we're happy to continue this conversation, Tanya. So. Yes.
At church on Sunday, a friend was kind of complaining a little bit that WellSpan had closed its hyperbaric chamber, and they're having to drive to Ephrata apparently for that care. I'm just curious, in this renovation project or expansion, are there any plans to have those treatments offered here locally?
Yeah, so that's an outpatient service that unfortunately will not be part of this new expansion and building. As we undertook a review of that service, and we review our services all the time, one of the things we found was that many of the patients that get services there also got services in several of our other locations within the York market. And so we tried to partner those patients back to some of our other centers. So we can certainly follow up and talk about what we might be able to do. So thank you for raising that. And I would encourage, you know, people always say, you know, we don't want to tell you this, but I encourage people to tell us, because those are the things we perhaps can fix or may not have as much of an awareness of. So thank you. Yes.
Good job, Bill. WellSpan has been terrific, as Tony said, for the community for lots of reasons, and certainly the patient care is excellent. As America ages and healthcare needs increase, there's been a lot of growth, expansion, and consolidation in your industry. What's the long-term strategic vision for WellSpan, and then how does this wonderful project fit into that vision?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. We're in the process right now of doing our strategic planning for 2030. So we always try to look out, at least 5 years out, and have very strategic, not only strategic goals, but certainly the tactics underneath them to make sure that we achieve them. We see a couple of key areas. We do need to figure out the aging population and how we're going to support that. So we see, in addition to this investment, a continuation of services in the home. You know, we do offer a visiting nurse association services. In fact, we see over 200 patients a day in their home. We do offer hospital at home. So we see some of that as an area of focus that we'll continue to have. But we also know that people are going to spend time in the hospital, and that's going to increase as the population ages. So those are kind of some of the key strategies that we're focused in on. So
thank you.
Just to clarify, you have to be a patient to use the rooftop garden, correct?
No. No. I just want to answer, you can volunteer at the hospital. I thought I saw another. Okay.
Thank you. To what extent is the project bounded by creating the new tower versus repurposing or decommissioning or changing the current facilities? And is the capital campaign in part to finish building the tower, or is it to rationalize other parts of the campus?
Well, we tend not to use the term rationalize. I'm only half kidding because, you know, that has a connotation to it. What we will use the word optimize. I guess I would answer that as yes. So it's and. So we are also, I mentioned the behavioral health unit, that's in our existing part of our campus. But again, another area where we have committed to continuing to, you know, refresh that space, match it to the way that therapies are, you know, provided today, and committed to raising funds to support that. We are making investments today in our cath lab, which is where we do our cardiac procedures. We're actually building 3 more as we speak. That's in our existing campus. And again, that's because of the rise in the cardiac disease. I mentioned the 10,000 procedures we did last year in cardiac. So it's both. It's absolutely both. We're looking at this as a continuum. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hey, Vicky, thank you for your presentation and all your service for our nonprofits in York County. My question is it all the conversations about technology and the growth of technology, are there any fun and exciting things that are becoming to this new location that maybe you could share as a preview?
Yeah, absolutely. So I did, you know, I kind of got real excited about the size of the operating rooms. But one of the reasons we get excited about that is because we currently have 5 surgical robots on the campus today. And they take up kind of a lot of space in an operating room. And we're already talking about adding a 6th. We can't add any more because of the size of the rooms. So by building these new suites, we can not only have more robotic technologies and in them, but we can also have imaging capabilities, which is another thing that's very important. Often you'll do a surgery, you'll take someone in and out of the operating room to do a scan. We'll have more capability to do that. Another area, and I don't want to go too far down this road, is artificial intelligence. And we're certainly looking at that. We've made some inroads there, and we can certainly come back and talk about some of the work we've done in artificial intelligence as of today. We see that as a continuum. I'm trying to think, what am I missing? Oh, you know, those big computers on wheels, kind of workstations on wheels, that's all going to go away in this new tower. So definitely a lot more technology coming as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Vicky, for that incredible presentation. It's inspiring to see the vision and the dedication behind the WellSpan York Hospital expansion and to hear about the tremendous impact that it will have on our community. The creation of over 500 new jobs and the enhanced patient care facilities are truly impressive. We're grateful for your leadership and excited to watch this project come to life. Let's all give Vicky another round of applause. As you all know, instead of giving the speaker a gift, we purchase a book and we ask them to sign the book plate and we donate it locally. This week's book will be donated to McKinley Elementary School in York City, along with a bookmark made by the students at Creative York. Next week, please do not come. We will not be having a club meeting. Enjoy your Thanksgiving and holiday with your family and friends. This meeting is now adjourned.